Now that we've discussed my least favorite figure in my my small collection, the the Marvel Legends game verse Captain America, the stealth suit version, let's talk about my favorite figure. I'm a big fan of Iron Man. He's probably my favorite Marvel superhero. By the comics in the back, you can see I really like this older design of Iron Man. Now this is the Tony Stark AI. Marvel Legends of the Shang-Chi, the new Marvel movie wave that's coming out, or that's the wave it is, the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure wave. Now, there's a lot to like about this figure. I will be going over my gripes first, but then we'll be talking about, what I really like about this figure. Now, probably my one and main gripe about this figure is this head. And I think if you've seen the figure, you know that this head, not a big, you can understand why I'm not the biggest fan of it. Rides a little too high on this head, in my opinion. It rides way too high. It just looks off, and from this angle, it looks really off. I mean, I don't know, just looks real off. But the rest, well, back on this head sculpt, it just looks off. But where this figure doesn't get harmed by a bad head sculpt, unlike the Marvel's Thunderstrike, where not only does this figure, it's a good figure, but that head sculpt where he always has that yelling face, no, it pushes the figure down a little bit because, I mean, he's always yelling, and you're gonna have to work around that. But where this figure doesn't get harmed by it is the fact that he comes with another head that looks much better and that I like a lot. Now, that's probably the only negative I have about that. The, engineering. There's a couple, quality control things I could say that aren't pretty great. Like, sometimes he'll get a little, doesn't like to stand a lot of time. Well, that's still engineering, but it doesn't like to stand sometimes. Stands a little wonky sometimes, but that's just, it's not a big deal. That's probably the only really gripe I have about this figure. Now, moving on to things I do really enjoy about this figure, the other accessories he comes with. These hands, right here, these open repulsor hands that come with these blast effect parts. That's great. That's really great. I mean, gosh, these are really great effect parts. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with this thing. You can have him look like he's landing, looks like he's shooting a repulsor blast. I mean, you just have so many different things, about this. And the articulation on this figure, it's a very standard Marvel Legends articulation. But, I mean, it's still a good standard. You have the hinge with the ball joint up. Gives them a lot of range, especially up. You like that range of up. And, you got that lowness right here. Arms are decent. I mean, you can get, what you need to get out of this figure. Then, you got your crunches, your swirls. It doesn't break the sculpt's the good thing. If you were to do like this, that doesn't break it that hard. Doesn't break it. Now, what does break the sculpt really hard is this thigh swivel right here. See that? Ugh. I don't know. It just doesn't, you break a little bit. Ooh, yeah. That does not look good in my opinion. Now the double knee, that's most Marvel figures, and I really like that. Now something that seems to be a theme across most of my favorite Marvel Legends are the extreme foot pivot on most of them. Again, let's bring back Mr. Thunder Strike right here. That, you know, extreme pivot of the foot, but none of them match the pivot on this guy. I mean, just full range on just whatever you need it to do. So this is just really good posability. He comes with his, you know, the head that I need him to come with. You know, a really good Iron Man head. I really like this design. And I don't know if I'm going to pick up, you know, the Iron Heart figure. But I'm thinking about it, but probably not. I don't think I'm going to pick up the rest of the Mr. Hyde wave, Build-A-Figure wave, because I already have what I know this isn't his, like, complementary figure, but I usually like posing these two together. But, yeah, I mean, just a really, really nice figure. Really good detail, really nice looking. Chest is a little loose sometimes, but that seems to be a common running, something that's, you know, common within most Marvel Legends figures. But I mean, just a really nice figure. And it's my favorite out of the small collection I have.